All right, welcome, guys. What's up? Should I do the welcome?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Do you want the welcome?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to have, since we have a full, packed, sold-out crowd here in the Fishbowl, I think I'm going to let the fans do the welcome. I think you've heard it enough. So on the count of three, let me get a hearty welcome from the nation on 3, 2, and 1. All right, that was a mistake.
Yeah, what a mistake that was.
I'll do it. Welcome to Busted Opens Masters Class.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
All right. We got WWE Hall of Famer, TNA Hall of Famer, the most decorated tag team wrestler of all time, Deathmatch God, Calfzilla, the Prince of Prime Rib, Jelly Roll's favorite host, and a damn handsome man.
I wanted them to do the damn handsome man. 1, 2,
No, wait, hold on. The
three.
nation doesn't.
Damn handsome man!
Can't stop rock and roll.
There you go.
Bully Ray.
Smatter of applause.
That was a
was I?
respectful golf clap from the nation.
We may need the applause-o-meter.
WWE Hall of Famer, the world's strongest man, a world champion in not one, not two, but 3 different sports. The one and only Mark Henry. And of course, the innovator of violence, the landlord of the House of Hardcore and the heart and soul of professional wrestling, Mr. Tommy Dreamer.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
And we are excited. Listen, only a limited amount of shows are a part of our podcast month, and Busted Open, because of you guys, is one of them. And I want to thank you for that. But also, since it's our first public appearance since the big announcement, Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7. Excited, man. And the Core 4 here to celebrate.
We got to get Core 4 shirts.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want it. Have I got faces all over it and stuff with broken tables and like beer bottles, busted glass and stuff.
I mean, listen, I'm all for it. By the way, we do have new merchandise
Oh,
for the
really?
Pro Wrestling Nation. We'll see if maybe some lucky fans might be able to grab some before the day is all done. I would like that very much. But again, thank you guys for making our dreams come true and taking 1 hour once a week to now a 24/7 channel.
You
Wow.
deserve it, Dave.
Ah.
Yes, he does. Wow.
You deserve it. You deserve it.
I didn't deserve it. I earned it.
That's right. Exactly.
And I want to thank, we had such a turnout for this, and so many people wanted to be a part of it. We have some overflow of fans outside
Appreciate
the
ya.
fishbowl as well. And you guys are just as important. I hung out with you guys before we started the show today because I am a man of the people. So thank you guys for coming out here today. And I know it's always tough coming to the city, especially during the week. But this is a special one. This is a very important show for Busted Open. And I think we got a good topic for you guys and the nation today.
Yeah.
The last time we got together for a master's class, it was the Mount Rushmore. We did the Mount Rushmore of wrestlers, Mount Rushmore of tag teams. And then I figured 2 faces of a generation, we can kind of argue which one is more important. The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's The Rock. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you. It's a tough one, right?
It's tough.
Yeah.
Do we have boundaries? We have parameters.
All right, so I'm going to leave it up to the individual because obviously Tommy, Bully, and Mark, and then at the end I want to hear from the nation that came out today. But I think you come up with your own parameters. I think you have your own like credible way of how you make the decision whether it's The Rock or Stone Cold Steve Austin.
So what's the question? Who's the biggest star?
Well, it's Stone
gonna
Cold
be
versus The
different.
Rock. It's going to be different to the individual.
Yeah.
There might be somebody that talks about the quality of match, or maybe merchandise sales, or butts in seats, or box office, or influence on, the business.
So it's The Rock versus Steve Austin, but there's no question.
It's
It's how you perceive
It's
it when
your
you hear the
perception of
name.
what makes one
That's
greater
really it.
than the other.
Okay, so who's greater?
That's what your perception. It's up to your perception and your qualifications of what makes it, and give your argument.
again, you're going to argue and you're going to give your reasons why, because it's like this. Like when you
Tired
talk,
of
when you
being
look at
smart.
baseball, you are. That's how we have you, because you are so smart. Because you have the Baseball Hall of Fame, you have the Football Hall of Fame. When somebody mentions a name, immediately you think they're a Hall of Famer or not a Hall of Famer. If you have to think about it, they're not a
not.
Hall of Famer. So when you say Stone Cold versus The Rock, immediately what's the name that pops in your mind when you hear both those names? Does that make sense?
No. Because there's still no question. There's still no parameter. You want The Rock versus Steve Austin.
All right, you know what? I'll make it simple for you.
Please.
The bigger influence, The Rock or Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Fair enough.
For you,
Influence is the target word. Okay.
Or what about bigger star?
well,
That
that's-
could factor
me
in.
And you could do that,
Yeah.
like,
I hear you.
or come up with our qualifier for it.
Because Bully might think the biggest influence is the person who drew the most money, but you might think about who changed the landscape in the business, and maybe Mark thinks about who has a lasting impression once their ring career was over.
Okay, I got my answer.
Okay,
I'm going
all right,
last.
all right.
Just to set this up, I did
I'm going
a
last.
little bit of research, not a whole heck of a lot. They've wrestled each other 10 times in singles matches.
What's the record?
Steve Austin 7, Rock 1.
That would equal
And
8.
then the
Well, no finishes.
No finishes.
and the other with no counts.
But maybe you might say that the most important victory is the one who has it last,
That was Rock.
and that was The Rock.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I'm easy.
You've been chomping at the bit.
I'm easy as a Sunday morning.
Let me ask you this,
Easy
Mark.
like Sunday morning.
Mark, let me ask you this. What do you think of the topic? What do you think of the topic Rock versus Stone Cold? Because both being pretty much a face of maybe the greatest era in pro wrestling history.
Being a guy that was on cards with both, the money was near the same. And that's very rare that you wrestle somebody. And me and Bully always take stuff back to money. How much money did they draw? And Steve Austin was the first person to ever come to me and go, so you know how much the house was today? And I was like, no. And he was like, why don't you know? And I was like, sure, I'm going to get paid regardless. You know, I got a guarantee.
A lot. A lot.
But he was like, you need to know what the house is and write it down, because the effect of you being on a show might depend on what your next contract looks like. Because the last time we were in this town, we drew $226,000. He said, me at the top of this card, we drew 540. So the effect of me being in this card, I want to know. So I can go to Vince and definitively say, every show that we do, hey, we did a 200 plus, we did 300 grand plus this show. What's gonna be my cut of that? I was on the marquee. My picture was on the poster. My picture was on the T-shirts. I sold $180,000 in T-shirts that night. And that's the kind of numbers he was doing. He was making $150,000 a night, 280 days a year. Do the math. So it was hard for me as a kid getting schooled and not knowing all of these things. But Steve was one of those guys that helped teach you. There's a lot of guys that didn't give a shit whether you knew. But Steve was not one of those. That's why I would put him above The Rock to me. The Rock taught me professionalism. He taught me how to work hard by example, not, come on, man, let's go. I had to tell him, hey, man, come on, hurry up. We're going to be late. Because he used to shave, so it took a long time. And
His whole body.
his whole body. Like, it took an hour. I'm like, bro, like, just go to the building. The building's filthy. They ain't getting in the shower at the building. Everybody spits and poops in there. I'm sorry. That's too much information.
I only pooped in there once, Mark. Stop.
But you go to the he would stay in the hotel and I was just like, man, hurry up, let's go. But to get to it, there's nobody that was more prepared than Dwayne. There was nobody that studied more than him. He wrote everything down, read it 10 times, and he would practice on you. Everybody in wrestling used to not want to talk to him because he would be talking, running on a conversation. Hey, Mustafa, what's going on, man? How you doing, man? That's a nice hat. Where you get that hat? It doesn't matter where you get. Like, he would always mess with you, but he was always practicing. And if it didn't work with him, he wasn't gonna do it. So it's like,
okay, all right.
so like, you know what I'm saying? It was a trial and error. It was 24 hours a day. Steve was for more cerebral in the sense of business. He was like, man, like, y'all leaving money on the table. You know that, you know, you get this deal with Jax, was a company that used to make the action figures back in the day. Do they still exist?
I have no idea. I don't
Anybody?
think they do.
Call Mac Cardona.
Yeah, get him on the phone.
Yeah.
So like that company would pay him X amount of $1,000 to sit in a room and sign 150, 200, 1,000 action figures. And those would go out and they just cut you a check for 100 grand, 200 grand, whatever. He was making money hand over fist. And I tell people all the time, the reason that I choose Steve Austin over The Rock is because I got off a plane in Africa. And the dude had on one of those, you know, those bright orange, yellow shirts that, you know, they got the things showing you what plane where to go. That son bitch had on a Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt. I said, man, we in South Africa. I've seen the same thing in Mexico. I've seen it in Australia. I've seen it in Canada. His stretch around the world to where he made money was not just in the United States. He was making that money in every other company, in every other country. So that's how you can make $10 million a year in pro wrestling when nobody was making over $1 million. Steve Austin was the baddest motherfucker ever in wrestling because of how much money he made and how the impact that he had on the economic value of pro wrestling. And what do we always talk about now, Bully? Like, if it don't make dollars,
It don't make sense.
I rest my case. Your Honor, the defense rests.
Okay.
I think Mark should have went last.
You're actually right, because out of all of us, you worked with both of them from day one.
From day one.
Right?
And
Steve was maybe there a little earlier than you.
Steve was there 1 year earlier than me.
Right, and you and Rock at the same time.
And me and Rock came in, and I remember the first time we met Steve didn't even talk to us. He did this.
Yep.
He kept moving.
Truth.
I'm dead serious. Steve was about that business. Like, if you ain't have no input, who are you? Can I depend on you to go and contribute to this show that's going to put asses in seats? If you wasn't, he ain't got no words for you. He was busy.
That is completely.
And it wasn't him being an
legitimate.
asshole. I realize what my time means now. And where I'm going and how much time I got to be able to sit here and talk. I don't have time for idle bullshit no more. When I do, I play Fortnite.
Aren't you like the 17th best player in the world?
Yes, sir, right now. Like, I ain't no average player. I like playing.
And you know how they always talk about, the demeanor on people's face. Like I got it my whole career about, he's in a bad mood. My resting bitch face in wrestling is not pleasant and is not happy because I'm always thinking about what's going on.
What's next?
Steve was unapproachable.
Walked through the airport with jean shorts and a Stone Cold shirt.
That look, but the look on his face at all times was,
I'm busy.
that's it.
I'm on my way somewhere to make some money. If I stop for 5 seconds, I need you to get your wallet out. I'm serious. Y'all over here going, No, I'm dead serious. Like, you better have your wallet and an autograph photo, because he's not just going to stand there and sign that, because he's going to be in a room with people with 500 autograph photos, and he's going to sign those, and they're going to go for sale around the world, not just in the city that you're in. So, man, that dude was ahead of the game. And every pay-per-view and every Monday night and every SmackDown that he was on, he had a different shirt. And those shirts, I mean, like, man, I wish that I had went to merchandise and just, Steve, can you sign this? Because, like, have you seen the vintage skull, the snakefish shirt? You know how much it costs?
I still got it.
You know how much it's worth?
I haven't checked though.
$800.
Jesus.
$800, not signed. Keep
Vintage
that shirt.
shirts are insane
It's
right
only going to get more valuable. Wow. And when he dies, it's going to really be valuable. That's that Steve think like that.
But let me ask you this, because you talked about, like, as far as box office and numbers and things like that. If Stone Cold wasn't on the show, because if he was on it, it was sold out. But if he wasn't on the show, wasn't it still sold out?
Well, I mean, it took a while to get to that.
Okay.
It took it took more than one star to do that. It took The Rock and Triple H to be on the show. It took for Batista and Randy to mature to be able to be a draw on those cards. Like the John Cena's of the world and Kurt Angles, and people started to come around that could you could put Stone Cold and Undertaker on a card. You have to put 8 other people on another card to equal them 2 people.
Yeah.
It was nuts. It was nuts. It's kind of like you told me a story that Hulk Hogan went to the Meadowlands and New Jersey?
Yeah, because if I would go to the monthly shows at the Meadowlands, if Hogan was on the show, it'd be sold out. If he wasn't on the show, that place would be half empty. You know,
and that was the Stone Cold and Rock effect. Both of them had the same effect. It's just that it was who you were working with. With Steve, it didn't matter who he was working with. That's the difference.
The one thing it's so different for me to hear, maybe because I knew Steve before, was he was never like that. Because when he came to ECW, he was like, I don't want to say gun shy, but like he had some doubt. Paul tells him like, hey, you're pissed, talk. And like debuts in same night he debuts, but I was friendly with him because of Paul. And like, yes, I saw that mentality, but as a lot of people have also seen, like Steve Austin, he has a very engaging smile. And if you talk to him, meet him, he's very into his fans now. Back then, he's also talked about the pressure of being on top. And also, I mean, think about his trajectory, what happened to him. He got fired when he was hurt and could no longer make a living. Right. And then realized, I have to try to make the most amount of money in the quickest amount of time because we all think this is going to last forever. And he got hit with a big dose of reality of, hey, this company, we don't see much in you. Same company that said the same thing about The Undertaker. And like, so I never saw him like that. And then when I went there, because again, we were friends. But when you see that being on the top, you can see it like walking with a extra pep in your step. Like it's the George Costanza from Seinfeld, always look like you're angry so people leave you alone, or like you're in a hurry so my boss don't fire me. But it's this intensity, and also like, why isn't? And I was there on the tail end of kind of both guys, but checks wise, if you were on, and listen, I'm working first, second, third match, and I'd look at my checks and I'd be like, oh, this was the show that The Rock was on. This was the show that Steve Austin was on. And then you'd get your same checks in the same venues the next time and be like, oh, they're not here. And your check is cut in half. It's different now how they pay the talent.
Yeah, they like more on guaranteed salaries now.
Correct. But, you could get as low as $1,500 for working second match on a card, and then you get...
Or $8,500.
I was just going to say, or like 7,000-8,000 for being the first match on a show that is, loaded with a Rock or a Steve Austin being your champion. And that's also, the mentality too is, if you're on a winning team, they want to load you up with stars. Look at the Dodgers. Why are the Dodgers in the World Series? They have loaded stars from top to bottom, and everyone's making a crap load of money.
But you realize that, you talked about the Dodgers, that they paid Shohei Ohtani that $780 million or whatever. You know that they made already $780 million?
Yeah. They made it back already.
They made it back in 1 year. So these next 8 years, they don't care whether he wins or loses. They got their money back.
It's funny when you guys talk about demeanor, because as a fan, I just remember, Beyond the Mat. And you saw like The Rock in the back and the Foley families there, and they're like talking to The Rock about their trip to Disney World earlier that week, and he's all smiles, and then Stone Cold comes up and Mick's like, how you doing? He's like, not good. It's like that you like, it's funny as you guys were explaining that demeanor, that came to my mind, because it's
he was not an asshole. He was not a killjoy. Steve is one of the funnest people to be around. It's just that when in transit to work, he is about that life. He's about going to work. I hustle every day too. I stop and I overtalk. But Steve just wasn't that dude.
Was he like that his entire career, or did he?
Yes, like D-Lo. Me and D-Lo, we used to walk up on Steve like we were gonna jump him, and then D-Lo would start massaging him, and then D-Lo would chop and massage and put his chin. And Steve would go, oh, not yet. And then he would D-Lo would put his hand, he'd go, oh yeah, stun, and then boot me, stun me, and like we had fun.
Yeah.
Like, he was a fun dude to be around, but he didn't do that with everybody. It was the people that he was on the road with, that was his brothers that he was making money with, and that appreciated the fact that he was on that card. You had to show, it was just showing that respect. The same thing with Hogan.
He had to warm up to you.
Yeah.
A lot of guys wanted to get chummy with him to get,
to be on the tour.
to either be on the tour for all the wrong reasons, as opposed to just being friends with him.
Can you imagine not knowing who your friend is because they just want to be on the card that you own?
Dave, also,
Like,
again,
it's
go to your
crazy.
history. Cactus Jack, Steve Austin, world class. Memphis, Cactus Jack, Steve Austin, WCW. Rock, just WWE. And that was what, 97? So, hey, Rock's on his rise in 97. Steve's already there.
Mm-hmm.
And Steve was a career mid-carder. I don't think that's unfair to say, right?
No, it's not.
Career
Tag team wrestler.
career mid-carder, tag team wrestler, goes to the WWE, is told, you don't talk, that's why you got DiBiase with you, floundering, not doing anything. It's kind of like same old situation, and then all of a sudden something hits, and he goes from here to the top of the food chain. You're going to be very protective of that. And that was all over his face every single day. He spent enough time in the business, was around enough guys, Ricky Steamboat, and you name it, who taught him what this business was really about. And
Yep.
he's not gonna be all smiley and happy and playing grab ass and wanting to be everybody's friend, because when you want to be everybody's friend in this business,
People will trivialize you too. They'll
Correct.
treat you like you common.
correct.
You know, it's like one of my buddies recently got divorced, and he said, "Man, we just lived in the house together." He's like, "She ain't respect me or care no more. You know, it didn't matter what I did. That's what it was gonna be." And he said,
You didn't have to put my.
"Well, sorry, Dave, you're out there on Front Street now." But he was like, "Man, I don't know if I'll ever get married again because I like the courting period. I want the courting period for the rest of my life." I was like, "Bro, you're gonna be sad the rest of your life. Like, you let love happen. It ain't always pretty. It ain't always glamorous." I was like, sometimes you just got to keep it moving. But this dude is a well-to-do guy. He got options, and that's wrestling. Steve had options now. He didn't have to be in the same house all the time. He didn't have to walk in the. Steve was getting off the plane and going straight down the stairs to a car that was there waiting on him to drive through. He quit. Him and Rock both. They quit walking through the airports. Then they was able to afford charter flights. 15,000 one way.
And then this is a guy for what a good portion of his career was on the road eating raw potatoes, not being able to have like a decent meal because he was barely getting any
Yeah.
money for wrestling.
Yeah.
So that's going to stick with you,
So
right?
this got to stick with you.
Yeah.
Dave, also, like, if you think about, like, I'm just trying to think of modern people today. Number one, if social media was around, Steve Austin was the guy who everyone was like, that's the guy. But nobody, like, I would say kind of like what LA Knight, but he wasn't even LA Knight-esque when he first came to the WWE. Rock came in, this is Rocky Johnson's son, Rocky Maivia, third generation WWE. Rock came in with the push,
Yep.
doesn't get over, but then they're like, I have to do something. What do? Die, Rocky, die. Let me be this. And then that's how it, but he came in with the push. Steve did not.
Career-changing promo.
You know what that really was before it was? Like, if you think of how the world is right now, that's you being live in social media. When you go out there and work and everyone starts disliking you, like, and chanting, not liking my tweets, or I go out there and I perform and then everybody hates on it. He got to experience that live. Smart people were go make money with this. But I'm just trying to equate like past to present, but that is the greatest example of how a mob of people can turn on you, and how do you strike back? And he did it in a great way, which then turned his career. How could you not get
Hated
pissed?
the fact that people booed him when he was doing the best he could do at the time, and he was really good. Why do they hate me? Why are they booing me? I don't understand. Like, he just didn't understand it. It was because they pushed him to be.
Yep.
It's like, I don't know if y'all watch college football. There's a kid named Arch Manning, and Arch is the Rock. They want him to fail now. Oh my God, they salivate every time he throws an interception, or he doesn't make a pass on time, or he throws one in the dirt. Rather than Arch being upset or disgruntled about it, he needs to do just like Dwayne did. I'll show you.
The same with Dion's son.
Yeah. When he starts to play, you watch. That Shadur Sanders is going to be light the NFL up. He's going to be awesome because he knows what failure looks like now.
I think all three of us can also understand. I know for myself, I was being pushed as a babyface, not getting over, and yes, how that did affect me, where like, what do I have to do? And then like, I had to physically get beat up for people to earn my respect with the caning of me. And I was like, if you people think I wanted to get caned, it hurt, man. I still wear those scars. And that was a real cane. That's not we cut the things like people do today. And, like, I remember my mom crying, like, seeing her son beat up, and I was like, I'll be okay. But I had to do that for my future. For him, I was there. And I remember Paul being like, oh, crap, we just lost Bubba. And, like, am I going to have to fire him? I remember Guido had one bad match against, man, who was it? Like, it was one of the luchadors. No, he always had great ones. It was like Antifaz del Norte or somebody. And Paul was just like, Guido can only hang with Super Crazy and Tajiri. And I'm like, no, he can't. And it's just like that, like, I'm about to lose my spot. Or I'm about to, there would have, if I didn't get over after getting physically beat up, I would not be sitting in this seat today. And, like, what do I have to do? And I had to, like, think of ways how I could prove my toughness, or how can I hurt myself more after physically getting lashed in front of an audience, right?
Yeah, you and Mick Foley, y'all did the most, man.
But then, yes, people come to expect it, and then with Rock, with that promo, it's like, now I'm onto something. Steve Austin, even if you think about his rise, he got hurt. He has to leave, and in a brief moment, hey, you're winning, and then this has happened. They're cutting a promo out there, go. So he's just like, Austin 316 says, I just kicked your ass, because it was the realest moment in this man's career. I'm finally getting a bit of a push. And, oh, by the way, that wasn't supposed to happen. It was supposed to be Triple H's, and he don't get it. So how are you not going in there being pissed the fuck off?
Which one sounds more convincing?
Austin. No question.
It gives you shivers, actually, when you're
Because
listening
that's
to
a
it.
veteran who knows what kind of a moment that is. He's able to recognize it and go, now. Because if I don't take it now, it might not happen again. Rockies is the beginning of, it's an evolution. It's
Learning how to control that audience.
Correct. Steve has it there. It's like, it hit me within seconds of hearing the two promos of, yep, this guy recognizes what it is.
I was going to say your answer, because you weren't. I watched The Room. I watched 6 of you verbatim say what was being said. And I was like, to answer your question, it was Steve all the way. Because how many years ago that, and you're remembering word for word what somebody said. I could remember, like, my dad's gone so many years, but I could always remember, why are all the lights on? What am I, Con Edison? And, like, if I say that to my sister, and you're all, like, the New York-based people, you get that joke. But because I was yelled at by my dad for a lot of those times for
Turn the
that
damn
stuff.
lights off.
Because now I say it.
So you have to pick one.
Oof.
Rock or Austin.
Oof.
Why can't
What was the name they used to go, oof?
Jackie Gleason, honey.
Jack Gleason? You Jack Gleason now?
I'm very heavy.
Come on, Tommy, let's go.
As you all know, it's hard for me to give real one answers. I first would like to add to this masterclass, why are we not even putting John Cena in this conversation? But that could be for another
No, I'm
episode.
sorry, you can't.
Okay, I disagree.
Why not? Look at the houses when Cena was on top and when Stone Cold and The Rock were on top.
Look at the houses now, though. Anyway, and merchandise sold, and
He evolved.
yeah.
Wait, time out. Rock or Austin?
Only Tommy would throw out somebody who's not even
Yeah,
in the
he's
discussion.
not even in the
I'm
conversation.
hardcore. I'll take them both. Does that work for this one? No.
No.
I think just because his career on top was longer, I would give it to Rock.
Okay.
Okay.
Just because money,
Longevity.
longevity, I was on top longer than you.
And you know, it's interesting now, and it's unfair, but you have to factor it in, is how big of a star The Rock became after his wrestling career was over. Because, and here's why, Bully, and I know I understand the facial.
That was also his plight, though. He wanted to do that. Steve did stuff just because he wanted, because people paid him to do it, not because he wanted to do it.
I also think that if Steve didn't get hurt, Steve would still be wrestling. And, like, they're both the boys. But like you said, Rock had aspirations. And even like you watch Young Rock, Rock had aspirations for bigger. I feel Steve's just like, I'm a wrestler.
And
Right.
really quick, because I understand, because you kind of gave a wince, Bully, and I understand it. Because if I heard it, I would probably feel the same way. But people don't look at him as Dwayne Johnson. They look at him as The Rock. No matter what movie he's promoting, they always talk about The Rock, and they always bring up his wrestling career.
Well, you look at Dave. He went and bought that from the WWE. The
So-
Rock did.
but I'm saying-
he didn't
but-
own The Rock.
But that's like his persona as a wrestler. But whenever they talk about Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, they always bring up his wrestling career. Like he's keeping wrestling alive and the popularity of wrestling alive by everything that he does outside of wrestling.
Yeah, but when they say Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he's actually given life to wrestling.
Yeah. That's
So,
why, like,
it's-
I think you have to factor that in.
He gave,
I did not
He might have
factor
given,
that in.
He might have given life to wrestling, but he did not pop a territory. And only Hulk Hogan and Steve Austin have popped territories. That's where when I'm listening to everything, and that's why I was like, "What's the question? What's the question? How do I come up with a reasonable answer based on what these guys did? Money, asses and seats, what they did afterward, Hollywood, blah blah blah." Steve Austin popped a territory. When Hulk Hogan stepped foot in the WWE, Hulkamania was born, and Steve Austin popped. I can't say he was the face of the Attitude Era because he didn't start the Attitude Era. You got to kind of look at DX.
I think
for
DX
that.
was the start.
DX
yeah.
is the start. But once Steve hit, that was it. Men wore jean shorts like Steve. They don't wear jean shorts like John Cena. They wore jean shorts like Steve Austin. Men shaved their head and grew goatees. Guys wanted to look like Steve Austin.
I think the two biggest wrestling shirts of all time is the NWO shirt and Stone Cold.
So, popping a territory. I can remember coming in, and there was always the first number on the house was always a 5. It was a $500,000 house. Every night, Steve was on top. Do I know for a fact if when Steve wasn't there, the number was down? I'm not absolutely positive. I'm just going to go back to popping in territory. I think Steve, by a hair, is the bigger fill in the blank star, whatever you want.
So you can look at this too. Like, you're not always judged by the talk shows, but Hogan was the first one. And Lawler was the first one, him and Andy Kaufman. But then you fast forward, that was one time. Then you fast forward, and Hulk Hogan was doing all the shows constantly. Leno, Letterman, Johnny Carson, like you name somebody that did a show, Hogan was on it. Arsenio Hall, like it went on and on and on. The Rock came in and did the same thing. So did Austin. Except for when Austin did it, Austin transcended the talk shows, and he was the first guy to do ESPN. There was real sports didn't mess with wrestling. And you see Steve Austin doing a commercial on ESPN, them hitting him with a chair and him going, "Give me another." Okay, that's good. Like that didn't happen with Hogan, and that didn't happen with The Rock. They didn't transcend from wrestling to sports. And Steve started going and doing like these celebrity hosting announcements in sports. Nobody else still haven't done it.
But couldn't you say that about The Rock as far as mainstream box office appeal in movies? Like I know other wrestlers tried to do it, but nobody has come near.
But we're sitting here today because of the pro wrestling.
Yeah, but I
not
think
the
it
movie
mixes
business.
in, Bully, because look at WrestleMania 28 and WrestleMania 29 and even WrestleMania 40. Wasn't the appeal of those WrestleManias and The Rock coming back is because of his box office appeal outside of wrestling?
Not to me. No. For me, no.
It was
because
him
The Rock
coming
was
home.
coming back to be a wrestler.
Yeah, he was coming home to wrestle.
I was not more interested in any one of those matches because, oh my God, the movie star is coming back to wrestle. It was the wrestler was coming home.
But
to
also,
wrestle.
but it's hard for us because we're inside that bubble. But for the people outside that bubble, I think he definitely brought more fans in that weren't wrestling fans before.
Okay, so to Tommy's point about the longevity, what's more important to the wrestling business, popping a territory or longevity?
That's a great question.
So wait, I want to ask about relatability to you guys again. I want you to just go by persona. Persona only. Not color of skin, not age, not religion, just by the personality of The Rock and Steve Austin. Who's more relatable?
Stone Cold.
Does anybody think that The Rock is more relatable?
Yeah, but to me, the biggest of all time is Hogan. Hogan wasn't relatable.
He was a larger than life.
He was large, and I think
But
Rock
that's why
was
he's
kind
not
of,
in this conversation. Yeah. Because if you put Hulk Hogan in this
there's
conversation,
no conversation.
there's no conversation.
There's no conversation.
So that, when I look at Rock and Austin, it's man versus man, not man versus super comic book hero.
It's I think it's a great discussion. It's difficult. So Mark, you take Stone Cold.
I take Stone Cold because the working man bought into the character too, bought into the gimmick. The guys wanted to go to work and kick their boss' ass. They really couldn't.
Everybody can relate to this.
They had to live vicariously. They had to live vicariously through Steve every week, telling his boss, walk up, "Hey Vince, how you doing?" "Well, how you doing, Steve?"
Yeah, middle finger.
And everybody would be like, "Oh, shit."
And then go have a beer.
Right. Not just one beer. Sometimes you got to have 2 beers. What? Maybe 3.
What?
Maybe 4.
What?
Oh, man, I don't know. Sometimes maybe I'll have 5.
What?
Steve had an influence on people that still lives today.
Right, because of that, I'm taking The Rock just because of the what chance.
You hate
That's all I hate.
You hate
the
it.
What.
I forgot you
I
hate the what
Me
chance.
I
I
was
loved
also,
it.
Bubba is completely correct about popping it.
Whoa. What?
Bubba is completely
And
correct.
he wanted to hear you say it twice because he never heard you say it before.
No. I hear him say it all the time. But it's begrudgingly.
About popping the territory. Listen, we're all wrestling fans. Hulkamania beating the Iron Sheik, Hulk Hogan pinning the Iron Sheik, it exploded. And most of us were kids when this happens, and then you're watching it like, oh my God, like this. And you hear all the stories now of like the men that we grew up loving. Like, I had to get to the WWF because it was a thing. Steve Austin through documentaries, right? Then they come up to him like, bro, there's all these signs out there for you. It's like, it's instant. Now I'm also thinking Rock, Austin. I may be changing my answer as well. How many characters came out from Steve Austin? Number 1, Vince McMahon, but like, I believe the Ministry and like all other things happened because we needed to fuel and feed this person who was getting over like gangbusters. Shane McMahon starts wrestling too, I believe. Like, all these different things happen because of this guy. We have to go after him. I mean, Vince McMahon's first wrestling match. Because of this.
Are you changing your answer?
I don't know how I feel anymore.
So, and also we
It's starting to change you.
Yeah.
He changed a lot in wrestling. He changed the whole narrative of the common man, because the original common man was Dusty.
Yeah.
And Dusty was the son of a plumber, grassroots work, work hard, guys, and it'll come to you. If it don't come to you, then you know what, you did your best. Steve was like, fuck that. I'm going to take it. You either going to pay me or I'm going to whoop your ass.
Well, my other problem.
And who does that to their boss?
Yeah.
Nobody. It still don't happen.
When I say longevity, I'm also like thinking, well,
let's beat the shit out of Eddie.
Where is he? Where is he?
I'm going to Dave.
Steve
I'm
Austin
gonna
comes
protect
back,
him.
works on top against Kevin Owens. Rock comes back and works on top in a tag match. So I'm like, yeah, like the only thing I still like want to give it to The Rock is he just had a longer career. I mean, if you're also thinking this was something that was ingrained in me from Paul Heyman, when Steve started making like crazy amount of money, he did it while he had a broken neck, and like gets over on a micro. That's how powerful you are. You're paying to see this guy perform, and he can't perform. If you're going to your favorite singer's concert that's sold out, and I can't sing, so I'm gonna tell you a story, and sit there for the next couple of hours. And his popularity continues to grow. It's insane to really think about that rise.
I mean, you look at the results from his podcast. Like, Dave and I both watched the hell out of it. And I think, Bully, you've been on it before, haven't you?
Yes.
Like, just going and doing and seeing the production of his podcast is like this room right here.
And going, you did it too, though.
I did it.
And tell me if you agree or not. When you get invited to do Steve's podcast, it's a big deal.
It is. And you come out of it.
That's like something like it's a tangible, like, wow, he wants to talk to me.
Yeah.
You
get the rub again. Like, man, y'all understand the rub, right? Like, like where your association with greatness, and somehow you leave, and some of that shit rubbed off on you, and like you can go and make money because you was connected to somebody. Like Steve did that as pretty much as good as Hogan did. Like you look at all of the people that ever worked Steve in one-on-ones, the stuff he did with Shawn Michaels, the stuff he did with Taker and Hunter and all the elites of the elite. But he also would work with young guys like me and D-Lo. And just because we got stunned, D-Lo got stunned and body backdropped in through the hood of a windshield, and I took a stunner on the floor and got clotheslined over nobody never clotheslined me over the barricade before. Like, he did stuff to me and D-Lo that wasn't common in wrestling. And then it became an all-the-time thing. If you needed somebody to get some steam, hey, Bully, you did it? Hey, Steve, go out there. Steve in the ring, he done just beat the Undertaker, and he goes up and does the beers, and then they just say, hey, man, I bet you want to run down there and jump Steve. You bet your ass, watch this. And guys would just run down there. It ain't Hogan. That ain't never happened with Hogan. You run down to the ring, Steve, hey, you got a beer? You coming down there to fight him, you're like, all right, I'll take the beer. You get stunned. And it's like you got life from that. It made you valid. Him whooping your ass made you valid. Where does that happen?
I don't know if any of you ever have been part of either a live event or a TV show when it goes off the air, and then exactly what Mark had, that was not scripted.
It wasn't. Wow. There were guys waiting.
Yeah.
Tommy, we would go up there.
And like,
shit, I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm running down.
I'll never forget, like, and it's just like, how many more beers can this man drink? / how many more stunners does he have? But you had a slew of wrestlers just like, and the show, I mean, we're talking what? Monday Night Raw goes off at 11 o'clock. People are, we want to beat traffic because we're going to sit there, and they're all like, am I going yet? Am I going yet? And all this ad-libbed, or like how he always just caught those beers were friggin' insane. But
Mark Yaten, baby.
None of that was ever really scripted ever. It was just like, go have fun, go do what you want, and those are special moments.
I do have one question. Go ahead.
I just want to say this one little last point. I'm racking my brain to figure out if Rocky has ever been involved with or did anything as cool as shoving Mike Tyson.
In wrestling, yeah. I mean, this is
I'm
the
going to say
conversation.
no.
Tyson and Austin was like gasoline on the
Those
spark.
were the two biggest stars on earth at the time.
Steve Austin shoved Mike Tyson. That's a massive. I get it, Rock with the entrance and the flaming Rock and everything that Rock has done Steve Austin shoved Mike Tyson.
I just wonder, and maybe this is, not the best question, but is The Rock the biggest box office superstar if he was never a wrestler? Like, I feel like feel like
he needed wrestling.
I feel like he needed wrestling. Like I feel like
There's listen. The new movie's not like knocking him dead, right?
No,
Yeah,
it
but
is.
Oh, it is?
critic-wise, it is.
Critic-
Critic-wise, it is. The box office
I
money's not
lived with
there.
both guys. Dwayne moved in his first day coming from Canada. He moved in with me because he ain't have money to get a hotel. He ain't have money to get an apartment. I bought him a bedroom set, so he could live with me. Mark Kerr, the guy that he plays in the movie, lived below me at the Olympic Training Center. We were Olympic athletes. Like, me sitting there watching the movie, I pull out my phone and I'm videoing. I'm like, this shit is crazy. I live with both of these dudes. And I called Mark Kerr and I said, bro, I thought you were dead. And he said, Mark, I heard that at least 10, 15 times in my life. He said, I'm better now. He said, God got me. I was like, yes. Like, there are things that happen that transcend sports and transcend Hollywood. Dwayne was able to touch on something that transcended wrestling and Hollywood.
And I think like with
That's
this
a big
movie,
star.
it's an independent movie, so it definitely doesn't come. It's definitely a box office disappointment, but this made by far his most credible work that he ever
critic.
did. They love it, and the fact that Oscar is being thrown around by his performance tells you by far this is the best job he's ever done as an actor. All right, we got to wrap it up. So, Tommy, you're the deciding factor.
You didn't ask him.
We know it's Stone Cold. It's Stone Cold.
I said Steve.
Yeah,
He said Steve.
So, Rock, it's up
Who'd
to
you
you.
say?
He said you
Rock. I
you
said Steve.
Rock. I
You
said
Steve.
I said Steve.
So you
It's Steve.
3-1.
You got, are you changing?
But
are
you can change.
No,
You're
do
gonna
not
change?
let him change.
Change.
No.
Okay.
Let's
No.
ask the
no.
audience.
All right. So let's first of all, the nation
You gotta
outside.
you gotta do hands
Okay.
because you can't hear it.
Yeah, the nation outside the glass. Put your hand up. Rock. Wow. Stone
Wow.
Cold. Stone Cold. Mustafa doesn't
inside,
understand
Mustafa.
instructions. All right, now
Eating that nasty
by
ass egg fucked
sound,
his brain up.
by sound, for the nation inside.
37.
Rock. Wait, maybe you didn't hear me. Rock.
Cricket.
Stone Cold. Damn.
Wow.
Stone Cold. All right, guys, thank you so
So
much.
wait,
Go ahead.
wait. What's the dude's name out there? What's your name?
We can't hear.
We can't hear him.
John.
John.
Come here. So wait. Yeah, come in. I just want to make sure everybody understands one thing.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Just so we.
I have a feeling I'm going to be involved in this.
You think? What's your name?
Brandon.
Come sit on Tommy's lap real quick.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Just stand back. If you sit on his lap, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Oh no!
Because you guys are the only two who voted for The Rock.
All right, guys, thank you so much for coming down.
Busted open.
Busted open.
All right, we'll talk to you next time. Right here on Busted Opens, the Masters Class.